So good morning students. Today we are going to explain our next chapter, that is more on Synfig Studio. It's basically an animation software. So what things, just I read the introduction. Below is a set of images. How many people are there in these images? Yes, there are the images of two people with their faces mixed and matched to make it appear as ones. You have seen this one. So we have learned that Synfig Studio can also be used to create animation frame by frame. So it's an animation of frame by frame. It can also be used to image and create cutout animations. So we'll read the morph and image and cutout animations. Now let's go learn these things. So here is the point. Morphing image is a technique of creating a smooth transition between two images. In this process, one shape is deformed into another and is defined by its control point. So morphing in this studio is done automatically, allowing the user to create animation by drawing only key position at right interval of time. Okay, next we have cut out animations. An object is split into different parts, see the picture, and simple transformation is applied onto it at different interval of time. So here the interval of time is very important. This is known as cutout animation. The values defined for each part for the movement in Synfig Studio interpolates the motion for in between frame. Okay, so these are the two options. Now the basis of animation. What are the basis of animations? To change a drawing into animation in Synfig Studio means to create the first stage and last stage of a change, and the stages in between is automatically programmed by Synfig. Okay, here they are giving a example. Consider a moving light. To create this, it requires the following three steps. Number one, the circle of the light is on the left, the circle of the light is on the right, the circle of the light is back on the left. To perform any animation, the following steps need to be followed: setting up the workspace, adding movement, and understanding the timeline, the keyframes, rendering your animations. So I just explained one of it. So setting up a workspace. Following are the steps to set a workspace. Click the canvas menu and select canvas properties. The canvas properties dialog box, there is a picture, dialog box will appear. Then we have to put the name. Give a name and description for the canvas and apply OK. So give the name and description and then click on apply OK. Apply and OK. Go to the time tab and edit end time to 2 seconds and click OK. Go to the time tab. Here is the time tab frame. So 2 seconds is there. Click on OK. Then create a background to the canvas by drawing a simple black rectangle with the help of rectangle tool. Now draw a circle of different colors with the help of a circle tool. Select the transform tool and click the circle to adjust and fit it inside the black rectangle. So these are the canvas property has given, diagram also given. Next we have adding movement. How to add the movement? The canvas window has a time slider at the bottom called time bar. Okay, at the bottom called time bar. See the picture here. Clicking on it, a small orange indicator appears indicating the position in time. The position on the time slider can be set by changing the value in the field. Okay. Next we have understanding the timeline. One is 10F, 10 frame. 10S represent a specific point on the timeline expressing a location in terms of seconds and frames. So this whole concept depends on seconds and frame, as it's animation software. By default, each second is divided into 24 frames. Each second is divided into 24 frames. The frame making begin at 0 and go to 24, where upon a new second is entered and the frame count return to 0. Yes. Now next is keyframe panel. Very important. Keyframe panel. Keyframes panel displays start time, length, jump and description. JMP are the links, just like web links. Clicking on them will jump the indicator in the time slider to the correct time. This can be used to edit an image for a given moment in time. The user need not go to the last keyframe at 2S and move to the circle back to the left, as the last keyframe is set to default 0. Yes, the keyframe makes the keyframes make Synfig. Remember, the image starts at particular time. The green dots on the time track panel are called waypoints, and they represent time at which they are instructed to take on specified new values. Okay. Now next we have rendering the animation. We can render. So render means it is an automatic process of generation of animations by means of computer program. Okay. So what is rendering means? It's an automatic process of generations of animations by means of computer program. So it can be done in using the Synfig Studio. One of the process. Another one is command line program called Synfig. Okay. So these are the two ways. Now animating shapes. In animating shapes, there are things are there. Basic settings, animate the stem, adding the panel, and many more. So what are the things? Basic settings, animate the stem. Okay. And next we have adding the petals. So adding the petals. Next we have hiding the petals. These are the ways students can go through and they can understand these things. Lastly, we have basic bone structure in an animation. This kind of animation is used to show movement in locomotive organisms like humans and animals. To understand the basics of bone structure, we shall take the example of an arm with fixed joints using the skeleton layer and 3 bones. The arm consists of 3 parts: the upper arm, the lower arm, and the hand. Each part is grouped in a layer called arm. Prepare the joint. So how it is going on? Before rigging the arm, we need to ensure that the joint rotates properly. It is to be noticed that the lower side of the upper arm is straight, yes, and does not have an outline, while the upper part of the lower arm has an outline. The joint of the hand is also curved with an outline. To make sure that the joint parts of the arm rotate correctly, it is made with the help of the couple of crosshairs as shown in the figure. So how it is happen, I just show with a figure. The figure they have explained the horizontal crosshair. So this way, please see, the horizontal crosshair line should match to the straight line of the bottom of the upper arm and at the same time the outline of the circle of the crosshair matches the top curved outline of the lower arm. Okay, so this way they are doing. And rigging means ropes and wires that support the structure. Ropes and wires that support the structure. The same principle is applied to the hand and bottom part of the lower bottom part of the lower arm. The crosshairs also mark the center of the rotation point. This will later be used when placing the bones. Before placing the bones, we can align the group transformation of the lower arm group and hand group with the crosshair of the elbow and the wrist to check it if the joint rotate correctly. So these are the process. Same way they are doing the adding the bones. Okay, and lastly they have done attaching the bone. How to attach the bone? These are the given. Attaching the bone. What is the process? With the completion of skeletal layer, it is now to attach the bones, the upper part of the arm. To achieve this, from the layers panel, the option on the upper arm group, right click and select child layer. Then press Ctrl+A in a canvas window. With everything in the upper arm group being highlighted, Ctrl- click on any bone in the canvas window and right click on any of the handles of the parent bone and click link to bone. The upper arm group is now linked to the parent bone. Repeat the same with the lower arm and finger. So this process is the same for the lower arm and finger. So this is the process how to attaching a bone in Synfig. So students, this is a new chapter and this is the animation part. So please go through the chapter well. You will get some knowledge also, and it is very interesting also. So this is the explanation of the chapter. Thank you very much. Goodbye.